What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets, both able to wrap their series up in 6. I did think Portland was going to be good enough to beat Denver. I got that one wrong, but I did think the Suns will beat the Lakers even before they even started the series. That was my prediction. I like what the Suns have done. I like how they played all season. And I thought that they was the better team when they went against the Lakers. Obviously, I didn't see Anthony Davis going down. But, nonetheless, the Suns still got it done, and that's all that matter. When you look at this series, it's going to be interesting because the Suns don't have the greatest bigs. Jalen Smith and Frank Kaminsky and Dario Saric and DeAndre Ayton are going to have trouble guarding Jokic. I don't really think they have any answers at all for Nikola Jokic, which is unfortunate because this is the guy that you have to stop if you want to go to the next round. Plus, Denver do have solid defenders at the guard position, not great ones, but Capazzo and them have been interesting. Will Barton, we don't really know what he's going to be and if he's ever going to play in a series, but he will be banged up and he will be a little, slower because of the injuries. But, he can really help this team out, especially because they already lost a lot of players already, but you still have to give them credit for being able to get past the first round, even though everybody had them losing it. Um, I will say that Michael Porter Jr. will have to be special because we know that the Suns, have a lot of wings that they can throw at this team. Something that Portland couldn't do was defend the players. We seen Phoenix against the Lakers. They was able to cover a lot of ground. They was able to be active with their hands, and they was able to stay in front of a lot of guys, even like a LeBron and a Kuzma, who are known for their ability to score. Really couldn't get the shots and really stayed on the perimeter more than getting to the paint in the entire series. And I think that's going to be something to be interesting in this series. Can Aaron Gordon get those open threes and knock them down like he did against Portland? And can Michael Porter Jr., get those shots off clean against the Suns and knock them down consistently, as we know that the Suns are a great offensive team, but we also know that they're a great defensive team. And we're going to have to see how they're going to guard Devin Booker. I think they'll put Aaron Gordon on him because Chris Paul still is a little banged up. Capazzo can't guard Chris Paul, especially because he comes off screens and stuff and gets space. There's nothing you can really do but hope he miss or contest it to the best of your ability. But even like we've seen throughout his career, he can still knock those shots down, even if they're contested or even if somebody tries hard to stop it. So it's going to be interesting to see, do Denver double team and trap Devin Booker like the Lakers do, or will Monty Williams continue to find ways for Devin Booker to get shots in the flow and very quick that he can still be efficient, he can still be effective. But, we know after watching the series against the Lakers that the Suns are killers. Like Devin Booker really showed out and really did all he could to make sure that the Lakers didn't win this game. And I think that that should happen also against Denver. But we also seen that Denver is a relentless team. They're not scared of anybody. They feel that they can compete with anybody. And they played like that the entire series against Portland. And I think that that's why you have to give this team their respect, just because they don't look that great on paper, just because they don't look that great on the court all the time. They still know how to defend when it matters. They still can make shots and make plays for each other when you wouldn't even think that would happen until you actually watch the Denver Nuggets play. So, you know, I think this team is very, very interesting. I still think this team is very, very dangerous if you don't take them serious because they do move the ball well. They do have guys that can make plays, and they do have Jokic, who throughout the playoffs and his career, especially the last 2 years, have been absolutely unstoppable. He did have one bad game against Portland, but that was it. He was absolutely dominant, getting to his spots, using his post moves, getting to the free throw line, whacking the threes. and even putting the ball on the floor and forcing guys to foul them and forcing guys to, play them at the 3-point line and just putting pressure on those type of defenders. And like I said, with the Suns not really having great defenders at the center position, Jokic will, most likely have a dominant series again against Phoenix. But the question will be, can they contain the Suns? The Suns have better weapons, in my personal opinion, than the Denver Nuggets. And a lot of these guys are showing that nobody really look at the Suns as contenders because they're young, because they haven't got it done in the playoffs, and all these other reasons. But this Sun team is also the real deal. They compete. They get up in you. They make you fight. They make you struggle. And they also can come if they knocking down their threes. You have the Mikal Bridges. You have the Jay Crowders. You have the CPs. You have the Devin Bookers that can get hot from three. They can move the ball and kill you. Cameron Payne will be essential to this series because he comes off the bench. He gives you a guy that's in attack mode. He's looking for threes. He's looking to get the ball and go right to the rim and hit floaters, get to the basket. And his aggressiveness was a big thing against the Lakers because you have so many weapons on the court. You rather have Cam Payne take a shot than a lot of these other guys on Phoenix. And they just couldn't find a balance of how to pick and guard him well. And I think that that's another thing that Denver's going to have to do is contain the guards and the wings on Phoenix. And if they don't, they can really kill them. These others on Phoenix can do a lot. They space the floor well, and they also attack well, and they also do allow Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and Ayton to get easy opportunities. But also they set screens so these guys can get space to get decent shots to for them because they stars that can make tough ones too. And we seen that last night. It's going to be a crazy series. It's going to be a series that will be very, very interesting. But I do like the Suns winning again. Like, nobody thought coming into the season that the number two Suns will even exist. Nobody thought that they can beat the Lakers until they did. Nobody even thought that they'd be in the second round with the ability to go to the Western Conference Finals. I told people to pay attention to this. Like, if they beat the Lakers in the first round, the Suns are just as good as the Jazz. They're just as good as the Blazers. They're just as good as the Nuggets. They're just as good as the Clippers. They're just as good as the Mavericks. It don't seem like it. You won't think it. But when you see this team actually play, you see how they actually defend. You see how they got guys that can close games, that can take over games. And we just seen that last night too from this Suns team. This team is young, but they're ready. This team is young, but they're scary because they play together and they got two guys that will close and kill you for every mistake, every time you make the wrong decision, every time you don't help, every time you let them go one-on-one, they can get you a quality bucket even in the fourth quarters. And we done seen Devin Booker this year take over and close games in the fourth quarter. And we done seen Chris Paul do it in his entire career also. And I think that that's tough for Denver to really be able to beat. I love what they have done. I love how they have played. I feel like even though Denver don't have a lot of shot creators, they play well off each other and they communicate well. And this team is always moving. Somebody's always cutting. Somebody's always moving to keep space for guys to go one-on-one or for Jokic to be able to do his thing. But you also have to pay attention to them because they will be moving, looking for an angle, looking for a way to give Jokic another option if he can't score one-on-one. And that's what's going to make this Denver team tough and real competition for the Phoenix Suns. But I think the Suns do match up well against them on a perimeter. I don't think they have an answer at all for Jokic, but Jokic can't do it by himself. He's going to need guys to step up consistently. He's going to need guys more than Michael Porter Jr. To beat this Suns team. And I think the Suns have a little bit too much firepower, and they can still make some good defensive plays, and they can still make it tough on Jokic. And I think that they just a little bit better than Denver. If Denver was healthier, maybe they win this series. But the Denver currently right now, I think the Suns, the way they have played And the way guys start playing better in the Lakers series, I think they ready and they feel like they can beat anybody. And now we just have to see them beat Denver and possibly be in the Western Conference Finals. The Suns are dangerous. They're better than what you think, and they are a team that will, blow you out and embarrass you if you don't respect them or you don't be prepared for them. Just like we seen them against the Lakers in Game 6, they're ready to go. Every single game, they're ready to go. And if you don't take them serious, and if you don't, be prepared, this team will obliterate you. I got Suns in 6 over the Denver Nuggets. Let me know who you think is going to win the series. Let me know how many games you think they'll win. Is the Suns overrated? Are we underrating the Denver Nuggets? Will the Denver Nuggets win this series? As I'm sleeping on the Denver Nuggets. And do you think they have an actual chance to beat the Suns? And do you think the Suns will be better? They way better, and they gonna sweep the Nuggets. They gonna win in 5. However you feel, whatever you think, let me know in the comment section below. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis signing out, and let me know what you guys think. And hopefully, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'm gone.